What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the Dense Pixels podcast. One of your hosts, Brad, joined by my co-hosts, Micah.
Hey.
And Terrence.
What's up?
Oh, get distracted by video games. Fortunately, nothing but great news in the games industry. Never anything bad going on in the video game world, so that we're not just getting hit from all sides. Let's take care of some housekeeping before we get into games this week, because I'm very interested to see what one of us has to say about a particular game they've been playing. But first, don't forget, if you'd like to join our Discord, go to densepixels.com/fans. That'll get you an invite. You can chat with other listeners of the show and us. We're in there quite often as well. Plus, you can ask us questions in the Dense Pixels post office. If you subscribe to the show on YouTube, you can watch this podcast in video form every week. Just go to youtube.com/densepixels and click subscribe. If you prefer your podcast in audio format, just search for TNP Studios on the podcast app of your choice. You'll find us, but you'll also find the Nerpocalypse Black and Black Cinema and the Look Forward Political Podcast. If you'd like to support us with zeal, go to densepixels.com/premium. It's just $5 a month to contribute to TNP Studios, your favorite independent media network. I don't have much new in the way of games. I will say that if you are a fan of puzzles, like all types of puzzles, and you play on PC, go search out a game called Strange Jigsaws. It's $5, but don't look up anything about it before you play. It's one of those games that the less you know, the better the experience is. I discovered this because Jason Schreier posted on Blue Sky about it with the same warning, and I was like, I love puzzles. Let's check this out. And he was right. I was happy that I had no knowledge of what this game was all about, and it was a great 3 hour distraction for me. So again, that is Strange Jigsaws. It was a fun little game, and I've also started to get back into at least having like one retro game on the side now, because I've gotten like all my emulators set up across different devices and things like that, which is something that I was putting off for a long time because it's a pain in the ass and a lot of work. But like once you do it, it's easy to kind of have everything synced between them, and just have, like, when you get a new device, you just have like your card of your regular rotation games you just throw it on there. It's very easy. And so I've been playing Ridge Racer Type 4, which was a game that I did not play when it originally came out on the original PlayStation. And it gave a lot of fun. One of the better arcade racing games from that era. And I've been enjoying a lot. Awesome soundtrack. It's probably what the game is best remembered for. And just really fun driving physics back when Ridge Racer was good and not the punchline of an E3 presentation from KazRI. So I've been enjoying that.
What? I can't remember if this was the Ridge Racer that I played. So I was not a PlayStation Day One person.
Mm-hmm.
My first PlayStation was the PlayStation ONE.
Okay. Well, this came out later. This came out later in the cycle. So Ridge Racer Type 4 is very yellow. That's how you would know if you played or not, because like the all the menu screens in the game are just like bright ass yellow as you go through it.
Okay, I don't remember this being yellow, but I do remember Ridge Racer was the first PlayStation game that I played on my stolen PlayStation ONE that I stole from Kmart. Me and Kenny had the little thing going on. Statute of limitations should be up by now.
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah,
Kmart doesn't even exist as a company anymore.
Oh well, yeah. Don't do that, kids. But yeah. I used to. We had a racket going. Jay took part in it because whatever. It ain't I'm not stealing it. You're stealing it and giving it to me. Okay. But yeah, I remember Ridge Racer. That was a game.
Yeah,
Wasn't Ridge
You know what
Racing
else?
like the first racing game on the
it
PS1?
was the original Ridge Racer was a launch title
Yeah.
on the PS1. Yes,
Yeah.
very very much so, and it had a strong connection with the PlayStation through the first two PlayStation generations before it branched out to become more of a full platform thing. But it didn't. I mean, even past that, it didn't last very long. I think the last Ridge Racer that came out was Ridge Racer Revolution, which was Ridge Racer 8 technically, and that was like 12 years ago. So like, I think we're all like Ridge Racer fans are hoping for that series to make a return. But they are a small group, so I don't know that we're necessarily going to get anything like that. I mean, really, the problem for me is the most dangerous thing that I could have done with the retro stuff is I've discovered retro achievements, and that's kind of ruined this whole thing. So like now I want to get retro achievements.
Oh, they've added achievements.
Oh, there. Well, so Retro Achievements is a website that is independently run that you can connect your emulators to, and users it's all community generated. Like users have created achievement sets for like thousands of retro games that you can pop when you play them. And Retro Achievements goes a step further because they have two different modes, right? They have standard, which you can just do whatever you want. But then they have hardcore achievements where you have to like you can't use save states or like rewind and stuff like that. Like you have to play the games as they originally were back in the day to get hardcore achievements, which apparently have more bragging rights. But look, if it's a game with a memory card, I'll go for the hardcore achievements. Like if it's like an NES game that doesn't have a battery save, like no, like we're using save states.
One
We're
sit
doing,
through. One
yeah,
play through.
we're doing all that shit. So
That's great. You know, retro. I was on Facebook earlier, and someone posted. I don't even know if it was GameFAQs. Oh, but they posted a GameFAQs is 30 years old, like this week or some shit.
it somehow
Jesus
feels like it
Christ.
should be older than 30 years old.
30 years ago was 95.
It
Were you, like,
was,
even,
but and that was the
were you
origins.
even like using the internet
Yeah, of
heavily
the
in
internet.
95?
That's true. I
Yeah.
wasn't thinking about it in that sense, but yeah, it's
Right.
but it still feels like 30 still
30
feels
years
young
old.
for GameFAQs.
For game.
Yeah,
like,
that's how you know you're getting old.
Right. Well, that's
what
true.
the hell?
30 years
The
ago.
internet the internet in people's homes is like 32 years old.
Ask me when the last time that I looked up a GameFAQ page.
When's
I
the
looked
last
it
time
up
you looked
today.
up a game back?
It was literally a week ago because I needed a move list for Saturday Night Slam Masters. So GameFAQ still
No,
useful. Even
do you have an account on it, or did
no,
you just...
I just Google searched it and
when I saw that today, I went to see if my account was still active. To see if first of all, if I remembered my password. I did, which was fucking nuts. And I looked to see if my account was still active. It is. And on GameFAQs, the ID number is like numerical order, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how many people? There's like 8 million fucking users on GameFAQs. I looked at my ID number. That shit was 42,381. Which I was like, yo, when I joined GameFAQs, there was only 42,000 people on that fucking website that were actually on it. Now there's 8 million. It was
I do miss
October 9th of 2000 when I joined. I looked at it and I was like, wow, I can't believe this is still on. 25 years. It's fucking crazy.
I do miss like GameFAQs always had a charm because of course like when people would build their text doc like guides that they would put on there, like they would always use like just ASCII characters to like make like the title of the top, like the title of the guide at the top of the screen to try to approximate the logo of the game, which was always fun. The internet used to be a fun place to be back in the day.
We used to
help each other.
We used to help each other. Exactly. They used to help each other. Now they're like, go fuck yourself. Everybody hates each other. But I looked up and I found the 3 reviews that I wrote. Don't worry about what they were. It's fun times. I was shocked.
I don't know if I can even imagine. At least one of them had to be a fighting game, right?
Yeah, one was a fighting game. Virtua Fighter 3 on Dreamcast. The other two was there was a shooter on Dreamcast called Bangai. I think it's a cartoon also. And I told you guys that I wrote a Metal Gear Solid 3 review back in 2004. So they were still there. I was like, holy shit! Wow. All right. That thing is still moving. It's shocking.
I'm frankly shocked that it hasn't been bought up by like a massive corporation and been completely enshittified to the point of unusability at this
I
point.
think GameSpot bought it fucking 20 years ago.
So it's owned by Fandom, and Fandom somehow hasn't. Right. So who's owned by
pretty
Fandom?
much the same. Yeah.
Wow, I'm shocked Fandom didn't vomit ads all over it like they do with their wiki.
Because Fandom doesn't know about it yet. Once they don't know
They're like,
you have it.
Oh my goodness. Well, Terrence and I have been talking about BallXPit a lot over the last several weeks. And finally we wore Micah down. And Micah purchased the game, has been playing the game, was asking some questions about the game in our private Discord chat. So I was excited to know that he was in it enough to ask questions like that. Micah, how is your experience in the pit?
It's fun, guys. I don't know what to tell you. It's fun. It's super addictive. I'm not a fan of base building. And that was the question I asked Brad, and I said, "Well, how integral is this?" And Brad said, "Oh, it's not really that integral." And Brad's a liar, guys, because
I said early. I said early. It's not integral to the game.
I'm at the second level, and I'm hitting a wall, man. Like I am not getting past, and it's because I haven't been leveling up my bases and all the houses and stuff. So I've been doing that, and I've been looking up like because I don't have time. I don't have time to play The Sims in my Arkanoid clone. Okay, to try and lay out different housing units. So I'm opening the thing up, and then I'm just gonna find like, hey, here's a good like map that you could mimic, and then do that, right? But I started leveling up some of the houses, which makes your balls stronger and your special balls stronger and your rate of fire increase and your speed moving. I'm like, all right, now I'm getting into it. Right now, I'm really digging this thing, and it's so incredibly satisfying. And look, you know me, I'm the video games should be movies guy, right? But there really is something about just like tried and true gameplay that is that just feels good, and each run feels fun, right? Like there's nothing that the game doesn't feel like I'm being cheated. All the different ball combinations are just wild. Um, where it feels like anything can be, into anything, and it makes me can be fused into anything. Or I know evolutions have different like certain recipes and stuff, but it feels like a game that you can break,
Mm-hmm.
right? It feels like like Clair Obscura in a way, where like, hey, here's a bunch of tools. If you get it, like just do whatever you want. And if you happen to break the game, then you happen to break the game. Um, yeah, it's super fun, man. It's super fun, and yeah, you guys, you picked a good one. Picked a good one. $15 well spent.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, very
spending
fun.
time between New Game Plus stages and also like I've unlocked Fast +9, which is like, so as you go through the stages, like you can unlock faster versions of them, which is kind of what you need to do to get like the top clear times and stuff like that. So like I've unlocked Fast +9 for a lot of the base stages, and I'm excited because I had my first sub 5 minute run the other day. That was pretty cool. I have a couple top 100 times on PC with some characters in certain stages, so that's been a lot of fun so far.
My fastest time is 5:09, so I haven't gotten sub 5.
I mean, sub 5 was like 4:59.
Yeah,
like I
I've been
barely
playing.
cleared it. So
Yeah, because it's like that first level, that fucking first boss that you got to hit him in the crown. That thing's a pain in the ass. I hate that. But if you can do a build where you just shoot right through him.
yep.
But I've been playing that. I continue to play that. I still have Game Pass for some reason. I don't know. It was supposed to be over 5 days ago. I didn't pay for that shit. And I'm also still playing through Hades 2. I've managed to beat Chronos several times now. Cannot beat Prometheus because there's a part of his fight where there's a memory game you have to, he does these little. I can't remember the shit. Like it gets to 5. The second time he does it, I can't remember it. My brain is fucked. So I'm gonna have to like pause the game and like write it down on a paper or some shit like that to get through. But I can get to him, and he just beats the shit out of me because my memory is trash. That game is good. I still have like dozens and dozens of shit to unlock though. Like there's so much to unlock in that game. I'm kind of like, all right, y'all doing too fucking much. Was that the first? Was the first game the same? Like it's too much.
It was.
Like, come on, man.
It wasn't. So, excuse me. The first game had a lot of unlocks. A lot of them were cosmetic unlocks, so like you didn't have to do a lot of that stuff. So like I don't remember the first game being crazy in terms of like progress unlocks, but like if you like once you got into like the late game, especially like the little in the first game you had like little character portrait things that you could unlock, and those were very grindy. Like you had to have a shitload of mats to unlock each of those, and I remember like I only unlocked one of them, and I was like, I'm good. I'm not gonna grind this heavily for fucking gems and dark matter and shit like that. But I don't remember the progression unlocking being too arduous in the first game. Felt pretty natural.
Because in this one, like the incantations, every time I'm like, I'm almost done fucking filling out all the incantations. I go through another run and like 3 more unlock. I'm like, come on, like, all right. And then I only have like a third of the fucking charms.
Oh really?
In the cabinet because I haven't been giving people fucking gifts and shit because I keep forgetting. Because I'm like impatient. I want to get through a run as fast as possible, so I just completely.
You got nectar. I
gotta give them and
hand it out.
Yeah, I know, and so I have like I don't. Maybe it's a little bit more than a third, but it's not. That cabinet is still fucking bare, and I'm like, what the hell else can you give me that I could use to get through these runs? But no, I'm like I've created some pretty powerful builds that can get me through to the boss fights. It's just beating that like again, I can beat Chronos. I just beat him like an hour ago. But yeah, Prometheus, that one part. Very good game though.
What weapons do you guys? What weapons do you prefer?
Axe.
Was the 2 staffs or the 2 little
the best
fireballs? Yeah.
The best run that I've had was with those, but I think I have more fun with the axe. Normally when I play a game like this, I play like a ranged character, because I like to like move and pick people off and move and pick people off. But I'm used to like a higher rate of fire, and
there really isn't like a bow in this game at all. It's just
yeah. So but I don't necessarily mind it because it's just more about like it makes me use the cast more. I have to pay attention to it more. But yeah, man, that game is really fun. I'm probably gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to it after when I get tired of Ball Pit. Like if I'll hop on Ball Pit just for like a couple runs, and then like take a break from it. Right, but yeah, I'm not as far into Hades as you all. Like I've made it to Chronos.
I'm not. I'm actually not that far either. Because like I said, I started a new file when 1.0 came out, and I haven't played it that much. Only because like there's just so many games that have come out this fall, especially, and like with Hades, it's almost like the problem that I've run into with Hades is that like with Hades, it's almost like a known commodity. Not only because I played like 10 hours of it when it was in early access, but also because I played 65 hours of Hades 1. So like even though it's a excellent game, I know kind of what it is, so I don't have the same like sense of discovery that you typically have when you're playing a new game for the first time, and I think that's one of the things that's been kind of slowing me down a little bit with it, just because of all the games that have been coming out. And there's a lot of like new stuff that's come out that's really captured my attention, and Hades is always there, but it's just like, like you'll still be there like when I'm ready to actually sit down with Hades a little bit. And this week it doesn't get any better because Lumines comes out tomorrow. Anno 117 comes out on Friday, I think. Both games that I mean, Lumines I'm certainly going to play day one when that comes out. Anno I probably will as well because, I'm itching for another new city builder. That's kind of become my big like one of the genres I like to play because we didn't get those on console for a long time, and now I have a PC, and now that whole world is like opened up to me. So yeah, so like Hades, like Mike, I wouldn't be surprised if you put in more time to it than I have. I've only done like a dozen runs so far.
I have 40 runs. It took me. I didn't beat him until like my 38th run.
Oh really?
Which seems a little. Yeah, it took a while for me.
Yeah, I've got like 22.
Okay.
Like I don't have too many.
I'm at like 45 now, or 45 or 46 runs. So, I don't know how many hours that is. It doesn't tell me how many hours I have in the game. But it's fun, and I'm halfway through hard mode on Ninja Gaiden 4 because I decided to try to go back. I got to chapter 10, and I'm like, I'm slowly making my way through it until they fucking cut my Game Pass off. So, that's it. That game is very fucking hard, man. I swear.
Jesus. Yeah, I thought you weren't going to put yourself through this.
I thought so too. But like they give me all of the ninja coins to buy all of the fucking to buy all of the healing items that I need to get through it. So fuck it, whatever. It's like I'm never gonna. I don't think it's possible for me to do because I'm playing it on the cloud, so there is a natural input delay, which is probably making it a lot harder for me to play it, right? Because that game takes split-second timing. So it's making it a lot more difficult for me to play that game. And trying to do like a no damage or no like fucking item run, it's not going to be possible. Do it through the cloud. It's just impossible.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck it. I'll just use whatever you give me. And I'm on chapter 10. So yeah.
How many chapters in the game?
20.
Okay. So halfway through then.
20 chapters. The last chapter is a boss fight. Like the fact that the chapter is just a boss fight in and of itself, you know it's not very easy.
Hey, Carrie's joined us. Welcome, Carrie, to the show. Just in time for the news. And look, the news this week. A lot of follow up on some prior stories that we talked about, not just last week, but in the weeks prior. One of the stories we talked about last week was Square getting very upset with Sora, making sure that they want to get their intellectual property pulled down from the AI generative video app. And we said, wow, that's really surprising from Square, a company whose president is very horny for AI all the time. And in case we had any doubts about that, he came out last week and was like, don't worry, I still very much want to fuck AI as much as possible. As Square announced last week that their plan is to have approximately 70% of quality assurance and debugging tasks in game development to be done by AI by the end of 2027, which will improve the efficiency of QA operations and establish a competitive advantage in game development. So basically, they want shitty, buggy code to be in charge of fixing the shitty, buggy code that exists inside of their games. I can't imagine how this could possibly go wrong and not create a shitload of additional work for the extra human or for the human employees that they have working on these games.
So the question I have is, when is the AI going to tell you that it's fixed all of the bugs? Does it tell you?
Well,
I mean, it'll probably tell you the first time and be wrong, and then it'll tell you the second
like-
time and be wrong, and then it'll tell you the third time and be wrong, and then meanwhile it'll continue to poison like the entire state of Tennessee.
yeah, if it works,
but,
Terrence, if it works anything like ChatGPT works, you'll be like, hey, so like, is this code good and fixed? And it'll be like, I don't know. Like, do you want it to be good and fixed? And it'd be like, yeah, I'd prefer it to be
Right,
good and fixed.
that's why I'm
and I'd be
asking,
like, well,
what
then
the
it's perfect. It's great.
yeah,
Like, how does it know where the issues lie? If it's just some weird bug that just
that's the
like
thing,
someone
right?
playing-
Is like it doesn't.
How do you find it?
It doesn't
Until it knows what the bug is, and then it's like, okay.
generative
Okay.
AI does not have any actual intelligence. That's all algorithmic. It's spitting things out based on what is the most likely next word or next sentence or anything like that based on the prompt that you give it. So, I hope Square Enix fans are really looking forward to a couple years of games just being completely unplayable dog shit on launch, because that's what's going to happen. It's because unlike a human person who plays video games and knows what to look for when it comes to quality control issues, AI doesn't know that. AI doesn't know what it's supposed to be looking for. If you clip through a wall, it may interpret that as a feature rather than a bug, right? Just be like, game works, didn't crash, no issues.
Yeah, data. So my during my day job,
Right.
like data analytics is kind of a big part of like what I do. And I work with a lot of data analysts and stuff like that. And in the field of data, there's a saying: garbage in equals garbage out. And if you have garbage input, you have to expect garbage outputs. It doesn't matter how good your tools are. It's only as good as the data that it's that it's being fed. It's only as good as the code that it's being fed. And again, like we're already hearing reports from studios that are starting to use AI more, not from a janitor sense even, but just from like a code auditing sense, or using or sometimes generating code when it's one of those things that like if you know if you're a coder and you're very good at coding and you know what to look for and you know how to explain what you want, then sure, AI can be a helpful tool. It can help speed some more arduous processes along. It can kind of get rid of some of the grunt work and stuff like that. So I understand why people want to use it. But I feel like that these corporations approach it from the standpoint of like, oh, like this will just do it for us, not realizing that you need to have someone holding the reins, and also understand the output, understand like what they're looking at when it kind of spits it out, because you have a lot of like fucking amateur coders out here using ChatGPT, but because they don't know what good code looks like and what it's supposed to look like, they're ending up with just garbage code because like you can't refine the process to the point where AI becomes a useful tool. And again, like that's the problem, is that as an assistant, like as a tool, sure, like definite application for this stuff, but people are so many people and corporations especially are trying to use it as the source, and that's not what it is. And so we're going to have a lot of people that don't know what they're doing. They're going to use it. It's going to be poor. It's going to create more work. You're going to see more game delays. I mean, thank God it's a company like Square who's known for speedy game releases and quick game development as it is. So it's like like a delay for them will be no problem. Instead, it'll take 10 years for a Final Fantasy game to come out instead of 7 now with the new tools that we have. So, but hey,
Yeah, they want the video game equivalent of Zanya Monet. Do you know who that is?
I don't.
Zanya Monet is an AI R&B.
Mhm.
But wanted her poetry to be done in song. And this AI singer has charted on Billboard.
Cool.
Are you serious?
Yes, like this is what, and that's the goal for all these people, right? They just have AI do it, do it, do that, do math, do it. do math. Like that's what they want. And it's not, yeah, I think you guys talked about it on a couple of weeks ago when I wasn't here about this AI bubble, and it'll eventually. But I need it to burst now
Yeah,
because
no,
it's just
I'm
annoying.
with you.
It's just annoying.
Yeah,
It's just annoying.
guess who said today that we are in an AI bubble right now? The chairman of the board of Microsoft, aka Bill Gates, the guy that built the fucking company that's dumping billions of dollars into development
Okay.
of OpenAI. So that's reassuring.
Oh my god.
So who gets paid for that AI singer charting?
Whoever owns the rights to that
Whoever owns the
particular.
rights to. So I presume it is. I presume it is.
Oh, wait a minute. I think wait. Is that Gail King interview? I think Gail
Uh,
King interviewed the woman that created.
yeah, she interviewed the woman who created the AI.
Yeah, and she was like, "I'd like to think of it as an extension of myself." And Gail King was like, "Bitch, you can't sing.
Right, you can't sing.
You can't sing. What the fuck are you talking about?" Right. Okay, so I do know what that is. Well, yeah, that's ridiculous. So I guess she's getting paid for her AI creation. Whatever. I don't know. Either way, this is silly. I don't.
Yeah, I think it's just
Probably
whoever.
really.
I don't know how
The
AI. I
music
don't know
industry
how.
probably enjoys it.
I don't know how this stuff works. Right, because I'm dumb. But if I assume you buy the tools or you lease the tools themselves, the AI tools themselves, and then whatever creations you make with those tools belong to you. It will be like buying a pencil and drawing art. That art belongs to you,
Yeah, God
and then you can do
fucking
whatever you want
forbid,
with it.
right? God forbid anybody put in any fucking effort. I mean, when it comes to like AI music, there's a tool called Suno, which has become very popular.
Yeah, I know.
Which
I
Timbaland
believe that's
used to
what
use
this person
that.
uses.
yeah, Timbaland's a fuck ass for using
Yeah.
Suno. If you use Suno, you're a little bitch and your feet stink. I'm so fucking tired. Again, like as I said a couple weeks ago, the effort is the point. The process is the point. So the idea of like, oh, I can't make music. You won't make music. You won't. You won't put in the effort. You won't practice. You won't learn. I can't draw. You won't draw. You just don't want to pick up a fucking pencil and put it to paper and make an effort. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the I
Funny thing
can't, I
is,
can't, I can't. There are literally famous paintings made by individuals who did not have arms. Like Beethoven was deaf.
It's true. He was.
I'm fucking tired of it, guys. Like, there's no excuse. There's no excuse to use Suno. There's no excuse to use Chat GPT unless you want to be a fucking mashed potato brained loser. Then there's no excuse for any of this shit. Stop using it. Stop doing it. Make an effort.
funny
And
thing
that
is,
goes for
Timbaland
Square
used
Enix
Suno,
too.
and he ended up using some like unknown producer's music in his
Of course,
own shit. He's
because
what?
because it only
Dude was
knows
like,
when
"Yo,
it's
that's
being
my
fed.
song, bro."
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all
Timbaland. Like, what the
plagiarism
fuck?
machines.
Yeah, it's insane. Like
It's incapable of
making music for
generating.
fucking 30 years. What the
Right,
hell is
it's
his
incapable
problem?
of generating an independent idea because
Here's the thing.
all it does is it draws on the stuff that it has access to.
A computer does not have the capability to be horny. Therefore, a computer does not have the ability to create art. End of story. And ain't none of you three can tell me I'm wrong.
Nor would we. So stay tuned for whatever AI hellscape news comes this next week. We get to circle around to one of our favorite companies in gaming, Ubisoft, who had Izzy Mo, their CEO, attend Paris Game Week to talk about technological changes in the game industry, such as living worlds and NPCs and VR potential and stuff like that. But before he talked about that stuff, he had to go out of his way to pat Ubisoft on the back about how they dealt with the haters and bravely stood up to people who were admonishing them after the reveal of Yasuke in Assassin's Creed Shadows. He asked, quote, "What happens when a legendary franchise reveals one of its most anticipated experiences only to become the game that everyone loves to hate? When the conversation shifts from gameplay to ideology, when everything you say only adds fuel to the fire." In September 2024, we had our backs against the wall, and that's when it clicked. To get out of the corner, we had to stop focusing on those who hated us. We had to start firing up our allies. So we stopped trying to win the argument and leaned on what had carried us for 18 years, the Assassin's Creed brand. And then goes on, talking about a bunch of bullshit. So that's right, Micah. If Ubisoft is known for anything, it is bravely and courageously standing up to controversial topics. Handled in their video games.
Exactly. Like, come on, man. Like, I get it. I get it. But like, I hate this company. I hate them. And they make some of the games that I like. Like, I actually like Shadows, man. And good for them for not caving under the pressure because they were too far into development to do so.
That's right. It's only warrant caving under the pressure when you're not far enough in development to do
so. Right. Because you literally just said you caved under pressure from the other Assassin's Creed game that you were thinking about making. So shut up. God damn it. They're so annoying. I hate them.
No, you still talking about Ubisoft?
I mean, look, being a white asshole CEO doesn't know any borders or racial or any other identities. So,
I swear to God, you don't get to pat yourself. You don't get to pat. No corporation gets to pat themselves on the back. No corporation gets to pat themselves on the back for taking your money for a product. Like, it's transactional. It's the one time that it's okay to be 100% transactional in a relationship. And standing corporations seems to be the only thing that people actually want to give a shit about. Not their own fucking humanity, not their fellow human being. They give a fuck about 3 letters in a wrestling company and video game companies. That's the only thing people give a fuck about when it comes to like wanting to defend to the death. And I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of everything. God damn it. It hasn't even been a year, Brad. It hasn't even been one fucking year. Jesus Christ.
I mean, it has been years since the devastation.
Living in Neuromancer soon, bro. We're gonna be living in William Gibson's Neuromancer. We're gonna be living in a cyberpunk dystopia, but before GTA 6 comes out.
Honestly, I think we're headed more towards like Snow Crash. I think that's actually the cyberpunk dystopia novel that we're probably gearing towards.
Yeah.
I didn't
now
care.
Who's going to be the first one to?
Neil Stevenson's
who's going to be the first one to? Neil Stephenson's a little like.
It's a little long-winded. For my liking, I gotta say.
You're a little up your own ass, bro. Like, I got some of his other books, and they're like phone books, bro. I'm like, all right, Jesus Christ.
Micah, thanks for teeing me up for the GTA 6 talk, because we have a follow-up from last week's bombshell story about Rockstar union busting several employees across the UA and Canada. So their defense, Rockstar, for firing over 30 employees was because they were leaking confidential company material. And so they fired them for gross misconduct. And people said, wow, that's really coincidental that all these people that you fired for gross misconduct for allegedly leaking confidential material all happen to be people who were driving unionization efforts within your company. And so last week, after we talked about that story, we found out that the leaking of the material that happened was inside of a private Discord server where the employees gathered to discuss the unionization efforts. So
Sure.
that's
right,
where
sure,
the
Jan.
leaking happened.
All right.
And because that was a unauthorized communication channel from Rockstar, that is why these folks were fired. Now, did all 30 of these people post incriminating material, stuff like that in here? No one knows. Nobody can be sure. Also, it's not illegal to talk about your work with your union representation.
No,
So
it's not.
that's kind of a problem. But yeah, Rockstar not beating the allegations on here, on this one, I don't think. In fact, it's even more clear that they were engaging, trying to break up unionization efforts.
Do they really
Yeah,
think
man,
people
like-
believe them when they say?
I don't
this
think
shit
they
at this
care,
point?
Terrence. I don't think they give
No,
a shit.
I'm pretty sure that's the case. But I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
why would you just? They could just be like, yeah, we don't like unions.
Well, because you can't
We
do
know
that
you
because
don't.
then you'll get in
You
trouble
can.
with the government. And what I think they're hoping happens is that worst case scenario is that they get sued about this and then they settle without admitting actually doing wrong, because again, it's cheaper to do that. It's probably cheaper to do that than it is to continue to employ these people who would eventually have formed a union within your company, and then you'd have to deal with collective bargaining, which means that these people are going to generally get better, benefits and pay and stuff like
Better
that.
pay.
Yeah. How dare they?
Treat your
Well,
employees
yeah,
better.
I mean, Terrence.
Weird.
To be fair, Rockstar and Take-Two are just, they're scraping by, like it's
Yeah.
they're not
They haven't
raking
made
in
any
cash.
money.
Yeah.
They're not raking
Yeah,
it
You can make
in.
one
humble
game
Like
a
mom and
decade.
pop game development.
Yeah, they're just a little indie company.
Just a humble small little game mom and pop game studio, just putting out small niche games that are are appealing to small contingents of players. So
Now, I have a question about unions because I'm dumb. Yeah, to Terrence's point, why can't they just say, "I don't want unions. We don't like unions"? Because when I used to work, every retail job that I've been to, the onboarding process, they show you a video that's set from when I used to work at Kmart. Every other retail job I've had, they show you a video explaining why they don't want unions and how unions are really bad, and unions, drive up the price for the end user or the customer or whatever. Like they're basically coming out and saying like, no unions here. And if you try to and they don't say
Because-
if you try to form a union, we'll can you, but they say don't do it.
So there's this little thing called the National Labor Relations Act, and that protected certain rights for employees, specifically the right to organize, the prohibition of certain employer actions, such as threatening to lay people off if they try to form a union, spying on union activity, stuff like that. They're also not allowed to discriminate against pro-union things. And it also protects freedom from retaliation. So employers are legally not allowed to punish or even so much as threaten punishment for employees for trying to support or form a union. So what Rockstar is doing is pretty explicitly illegal.
now I will state for the record that these firings were for employees that were in Canada and the UK. Whose
Right.
labor laws are different.
There
And
are different.
from
They are
what I
different.
understand, weaker. Like the U.S. actually has some of the stronger union protections in the world, which is shocking to hear. I know.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, I mean, so and Rockstar will continue to go out and say like, hey, we did not fire these people because they were trying to unionize, and they have the smallest sliver of ledge to stand on with that assertion. And it depends on how well people can fight them. Now remember, these people are not in a union yet. Like, they were trying to form one, so they don't have the protection of a union force to support them here. So we'll see what happens, if anything happens. But yeah, guys, you know how I know unions are good? Because here in the US, like, public service sector jobs all have them. But yet out of the other side of their
every
mouth.
private corporation fucking shits their pants whenever a union tries to form.
Yeah. Like,
if the capitalists don't like it, you know it's good.
yeah.
Your job offers you health insurance because unions in the 30s were like, yo, what's up?
We
So
have a
one of the-
5-day,
one of the
40-hour work week because unions were like, what's up? So a lot of the standards that we have today, which in many ways are still remarkably out of date, but because of the power of the unions 100 years ago, they were able to basically force certain things into place. But yes, Micah, to answer your question, the reason that an employer is not allowed to be like, we don't fuck with unions, it's because legally they're not allowed to. So
And again, like, even union, like, even if like your company doesn't have a union, like, you should encourage unions in your sector as much as possible. The most famous example of this in the US is UPS, is a union company. FedEx is not a union company. Yet FedEx workers still get incredible benefits, incredible pay, because whatever the UPS union negotiates, FedEx basically matches, because they don't want their workers to union.
They don't want to lose.
Right.
they don't want their workers to
So,
unionize.
Again,
so like,
it's
even
one
though
of those
FedEx
things
doesn't
that-
have a union, they still feel the effects of unionization because their main competitor is unionized in the industry.
It's one of those things, if the corporation hates it, it's probably a good thing.
Yes.
Like, if they want to get rid of it, it's good. Much like Republicans want to get rid of voting. There's no reason why they want to restrict people from voting. You know, if they wanted to win, like, they won't win unless they restrict people from voting.
I mean, this applies beyond politics, but as Jay said on Look Forward last week, and he said it before about other things, like, if you're right, why are you lying all the time?
Yeah,
That's basically
strange.
Basically what it boils down to. So that's it for the news.
Unions are good.
Unions are great.
You got to pay dues and shit, but you know,
It comes back to you. It comes back to you in spades.
yeah.
So, it is good actually too. Besides unions, the union of listeners that we have in the Dense Pixels Discord, who ask us questions.
Let me see if this works.
Who ask us questions every week.
It does.
On the podcast, densepixels.com/fans is how you join and join the special union.
Those of you,
yeah,
for those of you who are audio only, that was a historic eye roll from Micah on that one.
My God damn.
Everyone at this network knows I am the king of being able to segue anything to anything. A skill that I wear proudly on my lapel. We'll start with Johnny. Johnny's in a couple times, people. We'll start with Johnny, who says, just finished Z to A. And a question for Carrie. Jacynth's theme, top tier, yes or yes?
Yeah, no, Jacynth has a great theme. Honestly, so much. I love the music. I love all of the music in ZA. I think all of the battle themes are bops for sure. Jacynth for sure has one of the better variants. But yeah, all the ZA music is incredible, but hers is certainly a standout.
Jace asks, question maybe a little too technical, but here goes. I'm going to make the conversion to PC gaming, but I don't have a PC. The easy option is to buy a pre-built. Number 1, recommendations. And number 2, where do you recommend I should start learning about building a PC with the goal of building myself one someday when the pre-built one inevitably dies or death by becoming obsolete? So, Yeah, pre-builds are definitely the easy way to go if you're someone with no experience. They are affordable enough nowadays that you could buy a pretty good rig for relatively reasonable costs. I mean, obviously, it's going to be way more expensive than buying like a game console,
Hmm.
for example. But you also save yourself a lot of headache and confusion and potential fucking upness by getting a pre-built as opposed to building it yourself with very little experience. Now, that being said, YouTube can also teach you anything you need to know about these things. But I mean, I bought a pre-built for my first one. My biggest recommendation with buying a pre-built is just make sure that you get at least 32 gigs of RAM. I mean, the new 50 series, like even a 5060, you'd be fine with. If you can get a good deal on like a 4080 or 4090, that might even be a better way to go to save some money. And just keep up with processor. There's lots of opinions between folks about which is better between AMD or Intel as far as processors go. I think Intel processors tend to work a little bit better with NVIDIA GPUs. I think if you're going to get an AMD processor, you're probably better off getting like a Radeon GPU instead. But yeah, just find something that works within your budget. I
Here's
mean,
my
yeah, go ahead.
just to interject. Great website to start if you are curious about doing a custom build is going to
Mm-hmm.
pcpartpicker.com. They have basically some kind of demo builds, like a sort of like an entry level build and a mid level build and a really really high end build. And then people will post kind of their own builds and what they use and stuff like that. I have a custom built PC. I did not do any of it myself. My ex husband built it for me. It was the best thing he ever did for me, besides letting me divorce him without too much pushback. Um, but uh that's just like I feel like PC part picker is kind of the gold standard for just like being like, what do I need? Like what do I just even learning what do you need to get started
Mm-hmm.
to put a PC together. Um and I think the website also offers like a decent amount of guides as far as like how to put things together too. So
Yeah.
I would say, if this is the path you're taking for yourself, like just spend some time on that website for sure.
Well, and part picker is important because as someone who didn't know anything about this 2 years ago now knows a lot about it. Things you don't even think about, like can the GPU fit inside the case that I want to use? Like is an important question
Yeah.
that you have to be able to answer. And kind of knowing how, and that's why part picker is good because it'll tell you like, hey, like if you want to use this GPU, you have to buy a case that's at least like
You
this
have to buy a
large
bigger case,
and
yeah.
stuff like that. So, as far as like where to go if you're looking for pre-builds, stay away from NZXT. They had some issues there that were reported on a few months ago. I went with iBuyPower for mine, and I've been pretty satisfied with what I got. I've heard some good things about Main Gear as a site as well. Theirs tend to be a little bit more expensive, but you get what you pay for. And the thing about like learning, like if you buy a pre-built, like you'll learn how to do other stuff. Like I've learned to do stuff in my PC just because like I've wanted to like, hey, like I want to mount additional storage in here. So how do I do that? Hey, I want to add another. I'm running out of ports, so I need to add another, PCIe board, a USB port board. How do I do that? And it's all actually fairly easy when you do it a piece at a time, rather
Hmm.
than learning about how to build the whole thing from scratch. I mean, obviously, like you'll learn more that way, but it's also a lot more stressful and a little bit more arduous. And the cool thing about PC building is that, like, the benefit PCs have over consoles, when something shits the bed, you can just replace that one component. You don't have to worry about throwing the entire, throwing the baby out with the bathwater and getting a whole new PC. Like, you can just upgrade the component that broke, or like if your GPU is starting to lag in a couple of years, you can replace it with another GPU that's newer and all that jazz. So
That's kind of the part I'm getting into because at this point this machine's a few years old and now I have to do the extremely fun thing of asking my ex about what he put in this thing in the first place. But no, we're on fairly good terms, all things considered.
Yeah.
So hopefully he's not an ass when I go to ask. We'll see what happens.
Seekent asks, what game or game's ending disappointed you?
I know this is going to come as an enormous surprise to longtime listeners of the show, but the cliffhanger ending of Golden Sun Dark Dawn
Now hang on a
haunted
second.
me
Now hang on a second.
for 15 years.
Were you? But you weren't disappointed about it at the time.
That's true. That's
You
true.
were-
Well,
you've
I
been
was a little bit.
disappointed.
I was a little bit. I was a little bit because of the fact that because they hadn't announced another one at that point. So to end it on a cliffhanger when there weren't too terribly many loose ends, but there was one huge one, and they decided to end on one enormous cliffhanger. I would say that was pretty disappointing at the time, and has only become more disappointing in the decade and a half
that makes
since.
Yes. I don't know. I can't think of anything.
That Nolan North Prince of Persia game.
Okay.
I didn't really care for that.
Yep. But you've
I don't
talked about it on the
which
show.
one was that?
The one where you fix everything, and then because you're selfish and an asshole and wanted to save your girlfriend, you undo
Because you
all
want to
the
get your
good
dick
deeds.
wet. Because you want to get your dick wet. You traveled along this adventure with this hot chick, and you didn't get your dick wet yet. So you undo everything that you do because you want to save her so you can get your dick wet.
Yeah. Mine, I know I've also talked about on the show. I like BioShock Infinite's last third, the third act of that game was a crescendo of irritation for me. As you learned more and more about the story and what was going on and stuff like that, I just got more and more irritated, and the ending was just the cherry on top of that sundae, and just made me just actively.
I don't even remember the ending. What the hell happened at the end of that?
You find out that Comstock, who's the villain, is actually Booker DeWitt from an alternate timeline. And so you and so basically it converged into a lighthouse multiverse of different possibilities and shit like that, and it was just real dumb. Again, as I said before,
I remember now. Yeah.
BioShock Infinite, people really gassed up when it came out, and I'm glad that we as collectively as a society have determined a decade plus after that game came out that actually that game kind of sucked shit, and I'm glad we're all done pretending that it was fucking God's gift to action games, because people sure were acting that way for a minute.
I mean, I enjoyed the gameplay. It was a fun game to play, but the story was just started out very intriguing and then just evolved into nonsense as the game went along. So yeah, that's definitely the one that always sticks in my craw whenever this question comes up. Johnny says
another one for me real quick was probably the first Octopath Traveler. Just because you had to jump through so many hoops just to kind of get to the final ending zone, and then it was if you didn't completely master the job system, too bad, bitch, you're gonna get mollywopped in this final boss rush. So yeah, that was disappointing.
Johnny says, without a single ounce of humility on his part, in light of the World Series, what sporting game series or final did you think was fantastic, despite the team that you hate winning it all?
This past World Series, I don't fucking like the Dodgers. I wanted the Jays to win. Are you kidding me? Do you think anybody wanted to see the Dodgers go back to back? No. The only people who did are the fuckwits down in Los Angeles who don't have any taste. And look, I like Shohei Ohtani. That's it, though. Shohei's great. Ohtani is a generational talent. You're never going to see another player who plays baseball the way Shohei Ohtani does, at least not in my lifetime, I don't think. But I wanted to see the Jays win the World Series, not only because the Jays had not won since 1993, but because, quite frankly, given the state of our political sphere these days, I don't think the United States deserved a World Series victory. I think that should have gone to Canada. I think, let's be real here. But I did think the entire World Series itself was lots of interesting stuff going on. 18 inning game. I suffered through one of those in 2014.
18 inning.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
That sounds
18 inning game,
terrible.
man.
No.
Yeah, 18 inning game.
That's 2
18
games,
innings.
man.
That's two of them.
It is literally
It's
2 games.
It's-
They
yes.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I don't
They
like
did
watching one.
they did a 14th inning stretch during
Yeah.
that game.
Yep. I watched the Nats play an 18 inning playoff game in 2014 because the manager at the time pulled Jordan Zimmerman in spite of the fact that he was getting ready to pitch a complete game, and then the relief pitcher fucking blew it. And then we sat around for another 9 innings, and it was cold as shit in DC. And I couldn't leave because my dad was the post-game radio host, so I had to not just sit through 9 innings of excruciatingly slow, cold, miserable playoff baseball, but then I had to sit there for an extra hour while my dad did post-game radio.
Yeah,
I
Terrence,
have never wanted.
that's the real harm of an 18 inning game is that we got to remember from innings 10 to 18 there's probably not a whole lot of scoring happening because that's the only way the game is extending that.
Yeah.
I used to watch baseball.
Yeah.
I grew up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And like that shit's fucking boring. Yeah, I would have left. I'm like, I'm just gonna take an Uber home. I'm sorry, Dad. Fuck at it now. No.
For
Insanity.
me, the answer to this is going to be the 2003 ALCS between the Red Sox and the Yankees, which was
Yeah.
one of the most memorable series of all time. That was the series that involved Pedro Martinez accidentally throwing 67-year-old Don Zimmer to the ground as Don Zimmer charged at him during a brawl that was threatening to break out between the two teams. And
Accidentally.
well, he was like this guy was charging at him. He just kind of like matadored him, and Don Zimmer.
I remember.
Yeah, Don Zimmer went
I remember
tumbling.
that. I've seen that.
Yeah, and
Hilarious.
and that was very
Don't run
funny.
at me, don't run at me.
But of
Oh,
course,
yes,
the
man.
Yankees,
Wrong.
the Red Sox blew Game 7 in that series, and the Yankees ended up winning in the 12th on a walk-off home run. But that series was awesome.
I don't care enough about sports.
Yeah, I'm about to say you two sports Uber fans have nothing here.
I mean, like, I used to
I watched
play a lot. I used to play football, basketball, all that shit when I was younger. But like, yeah, sports didn't. Whatever.
I used to be bad at football and basketball when I was younger. So that's I'll watch it. My son likes the Ravens. He loves the Ravens because his dad likes the Ravens, and he'll and then we were watching the game that came on after that, and we live in the DMV, so they play the Commanders game. He's like, "Who do you want to win, Daddy?" And I was like, "Well, your uncle likes the Commanders, so I guess I'll root for the Commanders." And my son, like any hardcore sports fan, says, "Well, I want the Lions to win because I like lions."
Extremely valid, honestly. Extremely valid.
He's like, "All right, you want me to root for the Lions? I'll root for the Lions." And look, he picked it.
I mean, it's easy to pick It's easy to pick pretty much anybody over the Commanders right now. Like, I don't know a lot about football. I don't follow football especially well. I just know that like the Commanders look good
Yeah,
for
better,
a hot
right?
second. Now they're right back to being dog shit. So
Well, their star quarterback got his elbow dislocated last week, so
yeah,
it kind of put a damper on things.
yeah. There's that, and saw the Giants fired their coach. So that's all I know about football right now.
And
Ravens got off to
I
a
know
rough
less than
start.
that. Like the Ravens, I think were 1-5. I was like, really?
Yeah, it was not
I didn't hear
good.
about that.
Yeah, they're 4-5. now, and I think they're in
They're
first
4-5
place
now.
in their division. Or
They're in
Yeah,
first
they-
place in the
They're in
division.
first place.
Yeah,
Like,
second place. Yeah.
I
that
guess
division is
I
extremely
was say, I guess the
weak right
AFC
now.
North not the powerhouse that it once was when I was
No.
watching the NFL. So
Yeah, Ravens started 1-5. They've won 3 in a row since then, but things were not
Good for
looking
them.
good for the boys in Baltimore.
yeah, I could throw a lot of series out here because unfortunately, like a lot of the teams that I hate tend to be very good, and so like they found themselves in particularly good seasons. Like there's been a couple Penguins Stanley Cup finals that have been good that ended in
Nah,
them
fuck the
winning.
Penguins.
I don't know. I mean,
Nah.
fuck them. But like when they played Detroit back in back in '09, I think it was, when they won their first cup.
Yeah,
with Sidney
no, I'm
Crosby.
still not going to give them that credit.
Let's see here. Mad Coco G says, more for Carrie, possibly for Micah, with the well-earned success of Demon Slayer, Infinity Castle, and Chainsaw Man, the movie with a long Japanese-ass title to make Brad slightly
It's not
annoyed.
that long. It's literally just Chainsaw Man Reza arc. That's all it is. It's not long. Whatever.
No, that's certainly not like a Square-esque title. That's what would make me annoyed. This has to mean that we will see more Ghibli Fathom event movies in both languages. A third is, I think, Chainsaw Man did get a Spanish dub screening. Or I guess he's asking, like, will we see more of these collaborations?
I think we will. I mean, I think you're going to see more of it just because of the fact that, like, both Demon Slayer Infinity Castle and Chainsaw Man Reza arc have done phenomenal within the US box office. Like, Demon Slayer
I'm
Infinity
surprised it's
Castle
taken-
was at
I'm
like
surprised
the
it's taken theaters this long.
yeah.
Quite frankly.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of either of these franchises. But I do know that like Demon Slayer made like a fuck ton of money in the US box office. I apparently Chainsaw Man Reza arc topped the US opening weekend with 18 million at the box office. So cool. That brought the total box office for globally for Chainsaw Man over 100 million bucks. As of last week, it's about 158 million worldwide. So yeah, obviously, I think as distributors realize that there is a significant amount of money in some of these movies, that you're going to see more of them. There have been other, Fathom events releases, which tend to be limited engagements. They've always done like Ghibli Fest, where there's like a different Ghibli movie kind of like every month for like a week or something like that. So I know The Boy and the Heron is next week. But I seem to recall it's like they've done the Dragon Ball Z movies. They did Dragon Ball Daima. That was like last year. They did there's been a lot of stuff. They did like all the Digimon movies, Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Freedom. They did the Advent Children re-release last year. Gurren Lagann. There's definitely other things. The difference is, of course, Demon Slayer and Chainsaw Man did get the wide theatrical release. Like that was like every theater in the US had that on its schedule pretty much, whereas Fathom events is like it runs for like a weekend or maybe like a Tuesday through a Thursday, and you maybe get one opportunity to see it dubbed and one opportunity to see it subbed, and that's it. I do anticipate, in light of these two big recent successes, that you're probably going to see things honestly moving away from the Fathom events format and into just a standard wide release in English. So here's hoping.
Didn't Demon Slayer make like $70 million this opening weekend or some shit like that?
Yeah,
Like,
Demon
it
Slayer
was-
made a fuck ton of money.
It was wild, yo.
Yeah, Infinity Castle grossed $70 million in the United States its opening weekend, which is the record for the biggest opening weekend for an international film in the United States, as well as the single biggest opening for an R-rated animated film. So
Like, to put that into context, like that new Predator movie that just came out made $70 million as opening weekend.
yeah.
I mean, 80. 80 million.
Yeah. And this is an anime, guys.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Look, I
Like-
know a little something about. Like I've heard of this K-pop Demon Hunters that everyone is.
That's the thing.
gaga
K-pop
about.
Demon
Yeah.
Hunters was supposed to be. It was pitched as a theatrical release, and Sony was gun shy about it, so they put it on Netflix instead. Because they were like,
Whoops.
it's not going to make any money. Whoops.
I wonder if that executive's still working at Sony. who
I
made
fucking
that
hope
call.
not. So Demon Slayer Infinity Castle total box office take $682 million against a production budget of $20 million. Pretty fucking good. There is money in the weebs. You just have to know how to extract it from them. It's through gambling and putting movies in theaters. That's how you get money out of weebs.
I mean, yeah. Just give at least
Through gotcha games.
give a gotcha
games
game,
and-
give a slot
yeah.
machine they can pull and You'll be raking it in. T-Wash asks, which henchman can you not believe are still working for the bad guy? They cite Norman Osborn's henchman in Spider-Man 2.
So who's going to be the first to say it? Who's going to be the first to say it? Who is going to be the first to say it?
It sounds like it's
The
me.
grand old party, guys. The grand old party. The GOP. I can't believe those henchmen are still working for the fucking bad guy.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the answer right there.
that is
but
the
like they're all
answer.
bad guys.
That's the thing.
So,
It's like to be a member of voting Republican these days is to basically be cartoonishly evil. It's like, I said online yesterday, I was like, I don't know how anybody can look at the party that literally went, we're going to starve you because they won't let us fuck up your access to healthcare, and think that they're the good guys. I don't understand. I like whatever fucking brainworms these people have. I do not understand. So yeah, Micah's right.
Yeah, that's the answer right there. Yet they're all Christians somehow. Funny how that works.
No, it makes sense, Terrence. It makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know many Christians,
if you have a
makes sense.
cynical view of Christianity as I do, it makes perfect.
I
Yeah.
gotta tell you, I don't know too many. I mean, I
Look,
got family members that say they're Christian, but they're actually good people.
in
So
the
I don't
sense
know.
that mainstream Christianity is a cult, so is the GOP. So I understand the crossover.
I mean, Christian corruption, that's as tale as old as Christianity.
Yeah.
Hey, give us 10% of your income for the church so that you can save your soul from going to hell.
But the church building fund takes 17
Yeah,
years.
we
to build that
need
place.
your
They
tithes.
eventually do it,
Yeah.
but like it took forever.
So
Where the rest of the money go?
to inject a more whimsical answer into this question, literally, so like in a handful of James Bond movies, and Micah knows what I'm about to say here. In a handful of James Bond movies, the henchman is actually like the final boss for James Bond, because like the main bad guy dies, but yet like Bond has to still like escape the facility or whatever, and the henchman is usually there waiting for him. At that point, I'm not sure like what the henchman is doing, right? Like your boss is dead. This guy just fucking killed him. He's obviously formidable. You're protecting nothing at this point. Like, why are you not just gonna fucking stand aside and let this dude do his thing?
Yeah, like I just took out M. Bison with a sonic boom. What you gonna do with some boxing gloves, bro? like what you gonna do, yo? Like, come on, man.
So that's that. Meanwhile, on the flip side, the most logical henchman in history is the security guard for Damon Killian from The Running Man, when Arnold Schwarzenegger is about to confront Killian like on the stage after like they cleared out the audience and shit, and then like here comes like this big fucking bodybuilder dude who's like Killian's like, this guy's gonna fuck you up now, and then he's like deuces off like I'm out of here. Like, I'm not even fucking around with this. I love that scene. It's the smartest henchman in movie history is that guy. So Gustavo says, for the fathers on the pod, and Carrie too, since she's also a parent sometimes.
Not really.
Oh, I mean, you're not the stepmom. You're the mom that stepped up. That's not true, because they have apparently.
That's not true. They don't even live with us. Look, here's the thing. Like, pure transparency here. Like, they're here on a couple of weekends, and then they're here on their break. So they'll be here for like a week plus on their Thanksgiving break. But when it comes to the fact, like, so his wife is having a baby this week. Congratulations on that. The thing is, my soon-to-be stepkids are 12 and 7, so I don't know fucking anything about babies, and I'm happy to keep.
Me and Micah get the way our excuses. So yeah, Gustavo is having a baby this week, he says his wife is having a baby, which I know the female listeners appreciate. Gustavo saying, my wife is having a baby, not we are having a baby this week. What are some tips for a first-time parent that could help me? All right.
I don't know.
So here's the deal. The cool thing about babies is that for the first several months, and this is what they don't tell you about babies, for the first several months, Babies, actually quite easy to deal with because
Yeah.
you know what they
Just sit
do?
there.
They sleep all the time.
Yeah.
They sleep constantly. I can't tell you how often I had Xander like on a pillow in my lap while I was playing video games for the first several months that was going on. Happened constantly. Oh, he wakes up a little fussy. Hey, we'll hold you a little bit. Oh, you hungry? Get that bottle in there. By the way, when they can start holding their own bottles, game changer. Like you don't even have to fuck around with it. Like you just here, pop that thing in there. He holds it up. Like cool, we can keep on playing. Now, 9 months in, once they start getting mobile, once they start crawling and shit, then it's time for situations to happen. Then you got to start watching them like a hawk because they'll get into fucking everything. But for the first couple months,
It's true. I have been around friends who have like toddlers, like 1.5, 2-year-old toddlers, and I've never seen a child more determined to just fucking kill herself than like a 2-year-old little girl. Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna walk into traffic. I'm gonna put this rock in my mouth. Like, just whatever.
Yeah, but once you get used to like, it takes a couple weeks to get used to having this thing that lives that you have to like do everything
This
for
thing that lives.
for a while. But like once you get into the routine, the first couple months actually pretty chill. That's what they don't tell you when you're going through all this stuff.
It's not that bad. Nighttime can be an issue. My first nighttime was a big issue. So I would sleep when the baby sleeps.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get your ass up out of bed in the middle of the night because like your wife's tired. So you be active. Like I can't believe I have to say this, but I know I'm thinking of someone right now who is not an active father. Be active, right? and be a partner. Okay, sleep when the baby sleeps. Enjoy it, and yeah, first couple of months, it's not as bad as people make it out to be. If you're lucky enough to get parental leave, um, uh, you know, g- g- manage your time wisely. And yeah, man, like just being a dad is super easy, right? As moms, they tend to worry, you know what I mean? Because like they have a certain attachment. But dads, like you see like the stereotypical dad just like throwing a kid around. Don't throw your baby around, but like throw your kid around and like just have fun, man. Just have fun, and you know don't don't try to stress yourself out. Sleep when the baby sleeps. That's the most important thing that I can tell you, because you might lose sleep, and especially if you have like a colicky baby. But man, you be all right. You be all right. Look, if I can do it, like,
Also, if they do like, especially once they do start getting mobile, but just in general, like if the baby does get like banged up a little bit, don't sweat it. Like it's very natural to like freak out over every little thing. You treat them like they're wrapped in porcelain. They're very valuable.
yeah,
They're very resilient.
yeah,
Here's
I didn't learn
here's
that
one
until
other
my
thing.
second one. You know what I mean? Like the first one you treat like, oh, 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 and that's why the first one is always like, yeah. And then the second one is just like, all right, bro, whatever. And then the second one is just like running into shit. You know what I mean? Like, so
Here's one thing I do want to say. As a woman who has many female friends who have children, um, respect the fact that when your wife gives birth, she is going through significant trauma to her body, whether it be a natural birth or a C-section. It is a lengthy, unpleasant medical procedure that she has to then take an extensive amount of time to heal from. So if you want to be the best possible partner, you better step the fuck up within those first few weeks and
yeah,
understand that
be
like
active.
your wife is not only trying to take care of the baby that you two created, but her body also has to heal from the trauma of putting that body through her own body. Like, so Yeah, I feel like that gets lost in the sauce a little bit because you're always going to be focused on like the fucking little chicken nugget of a creature that you just created. But don't forget the fact that like your wife is putting her body through serious, painful medical trauma, and give her as much extra attention as you possibly can during those first few weeks. That's my
Also,
advice.
one last thing. Um, if you're in the delivery room, you should be, right? Support, right? Be there, right? You're in the delivery room. If your wife has to have a C-section like mine, they tend to put a curtain up so the doctors can do their thing. Okay, and you are generally at the head of the bed with your partner, and you're giving them support, and then wah, right, and then you go over there, right. And he's like, you want to cut the umbilical cord? It was like, yeah, because like how many times am I going to do this, right? Cut the umbilical cord, right? Whatever you do, don't turn around because it's the most horrifying thing
My wife.
I've
So
seen
I did
in my
not.
entire fucking life.
I did not. I did not look. My wife was like surprised that I didn't, and I'm just like because I'm not squeamish about that stuff. But I'm just like I don't need to see like you like that. Like you know what I mean?
You don't.
Yeah.
You really, really
Yeah.
fucking don't. You really don't.
Like I'll watch some. I can watch some random ass person getting a C-section. It's like, but I don't need that image burned into my skull.
Yeah,
It's not necessary.
no, man. I can watch all the horror movies in the world. I can watch all the horror movies in the world. But that shit it affected me, man. It affected me, and I would never get it out of my head. It's one of those
No.
things that you would never ever get out of your head.
I was hanging
don't
out
turn
with the
around.
baby in the corner, like with the nurses, like putting the
Yep.
goop in his eyes and stuff like that. I'm like, this is fascinating. Like you guys have a whole little
Yeah,
routine
like,
that you
hey.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the perfect encapsulation of male female relationships. The woman is just sitting there doing all this fucking work, and then the dad, hey, look what I did.
And I helped.
That's right.
Right.
Oh my goodness. But Mazel Tov, Gustavo. Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations, man. Congratulations.
Finally, Beach Boy has a couple questions for us. He says, "Y'all, I just finished the Mission Impossible series. Please tell me y'all will bring back Men with the Golden Tongues for this." So we did the first 6 on Men with the Golden Tongues. We never did get around to Dead Reckoning, which I suppose we have to do at some point. Because I have some thoughts.
Yeah, right. Terrence is spot on. Do you? Have you seen 8? Have you
No,
seen
I
Mission
still
Impossible 8?
haven't. I still haven't.
Oof.
I feel like I'm waiting until I have to before I do.
Yeah.
Because
Probably
7
a good idea.
really disappointed me. So
Yeah. 8 is no.
and, yeah, but
8 is no better.
I heard 8 was not much better. In fact, maybe worse potentially. So
Yeah.
so,
It's my
yeah.
fault. When every time we say we're gonna do it, I've just been busy and I've had to push it back. So I do want to finish that series out, so I don't have to talk about I don't have the sword of Damocles hanging over my head about Dead Reckoning 1 and 2.
But yeah, you can look forward to that. And hey, if you didn't catch the first 6 Mission Impossible reviews, they're sitting out there in premium land. Definitely check those out. I'm very proud of a lot of those episodes that we did, especially Mission Impossible 2. Perhaps one of the most misunderstood movies that's ever existed. So he also says, Carrie, between the new Pokemon or Digimon, which are you preferring? I know you played both. You talked about this a little bit a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. So first of all, thank you, Beach Boy, for like actually tagging me because it reminded me that I could actually be on this week's episode because I wasn't originally going to be because I had some music stuff I wanted to work on. Then like I didn't get the things that I need to actually work on that yet. But and it's like I saw like multiple people were asking me specific questions on the post office. I was like, I guess I should be on the episode then. But as far as Pokemon versus Digimon, what I will say is I have rolled credits on ZA and I have not yet rolled credits on Time Stranger. And The reason for that is because I can play Legend ZA anywhere in my house. I can play it while I'm listening to a record. I can play it while I'm watching TV. I can play it on the TV, docked. Time Stranger is not on Switch 2 yet. I'm playing it on PlayStation 5, which means that if I want to play it, I'm sitting in that one room and I'm playing it. Legend ZA, I thought, was also very easy to just sort of do little bursts at a time, where it's like, oh, I'm just going to do one battle zone. I'm just going to do this for like 15 minutes and then I'll be done. And I can put it down. Time Stranger is like, if I'm doing it, like I'm doing a full dungeon, like I'm in it basically for, a couple hours at a time. And it has been more difficult for me to find the time to play more Time Stranger lately. So they're very different. I have played more ZA. I do think that Time Stranger is potentially a better overall game in terms of the story, in terms of the systems, in terms of pretty much everything. But Legend ZA has been easier to play, in spite of the fact that it may not be as objectively good of a game. I have put more time into ZA because I can play it in the smaller bursts, because I can take it with me on an airplane where I'm going to be in the air for 5.5 hours, stuff like that. Whereas like Time Stranger, ironically enough, I have not exactly found the time to play as much, but I do think that probably Time Stranger is maybe like it ekes out ZA just in terms of overall game quality. But both are great. Both are great experiences. So,
And finally, they say just watch Face Off for the 1000th time. Nick Cage is fucking amazing. Micah, why haven't we seen him voice a video game character yet? Also, which modern franchise would you guys love to see him grace the gaming world with? For me, I'd go the Call of Duty or even a Battlefield voice pack with all of his best catchphrases. Beach Boy, you might not be aware of this. How Nick Cage was in a video game not that long ago. He played himself in Dead by Daylight as one of the survivors that you could use.
Yeah.
In that game.
Did he really?
He did.
Yeah. It's his only video game credit.
He was at the Game Awards and everything, or one of the Jeff Keighley shows he showed up at to promote this. So yes, Nick Cage, video game actor.
Nick,
I don't think he needs to be in like an action Rudy Tooty McShooty game. I think he needs to be like a weird old wizard man in like an Elder Scrolls. I think that would be far more appropriate for where Nicolas Cage is in his life right now, is if he's just like some wackadoo sorcerer living in a cave.
Disagree. I have the solution to this. It's so obviously apparent that I don't know why it wasn't immediately thought of. Put each of his, so I lovingly call this series of films the Nick Cage trilogy, because they all came out like a year apart from one another. And they're all very different, but yet very, very the same. And that is, of course, The Rock, Face Off, and Con Air. Three movies that are like separate, but yet in my mind inextricably tied to one another. And I think the key to doing this is you have Stanley Goodspeed, you have Cameron Poe, and you have Castor Troy all show up in Fortnite. That's what you do. And you have Nick Cage voice all of them. You have him re-record dialogue, so he has to do the voice for all the characters, which would be especially funny for Cameron Poe, because, put the
Southern
bunny
accent
on the ground, like you could be doing that stuff. Castor Troy has his like signature handguns and shit like that you could put in the game as well. Like it's all there for you. It's all there for you.
I like that idea. Point of order for Face Off. While I agree Nick Cage is fucking amazing in anything, Face Off is more of a John Travolta vehicle in terms of hamming it up. Because
False.
he is
False.
hamming it up as Nick Cage. He's doing his best Nick Cage impression, I believe.
Micah, which when you think of facial expressions,
yeah, you know what?
From Face Off. That when he gets fucking high, the Like that? Like yeah. So don't tell me
No,
that
no,
Face
I'm
Off
not-
is a
I'm
John
not-
Travolta
trust me.
vehicle. Yeah.
I'm not giving
It
short
is.
shrift to Nick Cage. I'm not giving short shrift to Nick Cage. But like, he is that is a duo. Okay.
Yes.
That is
You
is a
could
duo.
put Sean
Hand me
Archer in the movie as well. It's fine. So.
The second thing that I can't believe no one has brought it up with all this Hades 2 talk, but is it me or does Narcissus sound
No, it's
exactly
they're very,
like me?
very
I was
much.
literally
Yeah,
about
they're
to bring that
very
up.
much
Yes.
going for that. Yes.
No,
100%.
Narcissus is absolutely a Nick Cage impression by Darren Korb, who also is, in addition to being the game's composer, the voice of Zagreus and Skelly / Skelemus. But
Impressive. They
yeah,
sound
it
completely
is.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I fully intend on picking Darren's brain about his Narcissus voice the next opportunity I get, because I feel in my bones that it was a deliberate choice to try and do a
It
Nick Cage
absolutely
impression.
was. It
Um,
absolutely was. So now the next big Greek epic has to have Nicolas Cage as Narcissus.
yeah.
Isn't what's his name? Isn't who's doing the Odyssey? That's Christopher Nolan, right? It's
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan's Odyssey movie has to have Nicolas Cage.
That would be awesome. I don't even care what role he plays. Make him fucking Zeus for all I care. Yeah, I couldn't possibly care less. Nick Cage should be in more things. That's true.
They should have just gotten Nick Cage to voice Narcissus in Hades too. But I don't know what kind of budget Supergiant is operating on.
He might have done it for
Do you
fun.
think he would have charged? Probably.
I'm about to say he might have done it for
He
fun.
probably would have done it. He probably would have done it for fun
Yeah,
because
okay,
Nick Cage
like-
was in a Nick Cage was in a like a Five Nights at Freddy's ripoff movie
He
where he,
was.
where he played a guy that had no lines. He did not speak. He was a hitman that did not speak. He was just in it. He was the most famous person in it. 1 minute long. You just, like fuck it. He'll do it. If he thinks it's interesting.
Going to last like 6 or 7 years. He was in a ton of shit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
debt
they
he
paid
had
it
to
back
pay
in
off.
fucking
But
Like I said, I think he's in the Samuel L.
he's pretty
Jackson
clear
mode.
now.
Yeah, I think he's in the Samuel L. Jackson mode where he's just like, I like to act. I'll do whatever.
yeah.
You all know that he's playing John Madden in the Madden.
Yes, yes, I am
Yeah.
aware of that. Yes.
Okay.
Speaking of Chris Nolan, with Christian Bale as Al Davis, which should also
Yes.
be really entertaining.
And John Mulaney as Trip Hawkins. Catherine Hahn's going to be in that movie.
Oh man.
Trip Hawkins.
I mean, I was
that's
going to
just
see that
EA's
movie
The
anyway.
EA,
but Catherine Hahn's
the
in it.
EA founder. So
John Mulaney. That's not bad, honestly. I'm trying to think of what fucking Trip Hawkins looked like.
Trip Hawkins had like an 80s like mullet sort of, but not really a mullet. Like it was more just like flowing, like long flowing hair kind of shit. Back then, he looked like a normal dude. He didn't sound like John Mulaney, I'll tell you that. So like that'll be a little weird. But yeah, Trip Hawkins, the progenitor of the 3DO.
Yep.
That did not work out as well.
I can't wait for this Mad movie to come out so that I can once again be vindicated in me saying that that Nicolas Cage is, if not the greatest living actor, the most interesting living.
I'm about to say the most
Definitely
interesting.
the most
certainly.
interesting. I still need to see The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, which I heard was very good.
It's pretty good.
It's very fun. It's very good. And then there was this movie where he was like, he would like affect people in their dreams. That it was an excellent movie. I put some respect on that man's name.
Oh, Dream
Yeah, what
Scenario?
was it? I saw that.
Dream Scenario. Dream Scenario is really good.
Yeah.
All right.
So again, unanimously, more Nick Cage in more things.
More Nick Cage.
in general. So, I mean, really, again, like Epic Games, you have enough money. The Fortnite idea is free. I won't even charge you for that. It's a no-brainer. So, thank you guys for all the questions that's going to do it for the podcast this week. Again, don't forget to subscribe wherever you find fine videos or fine podcasts. DensePixels.com/fans. Again, the Discord, DensePixels.com/premium to contribute financially to the show. Thank you all very much for watching and listening, and we'll see you all the next time.
See ya.
Take it easy.
You're watching the Dense Pixels YouTube channel. Click the subscribe button while you're here, and make sure you check out our weekly podcast where we discuss the latest gaming news and our impressions on what games we've been playing.